Hey, what's going on, everybody? Manny here once again. Welcome to DFS Zone. I have a new NBA DFS video for you guys today. But before I get started, like always, I appreciate you guys drop a like. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time here, I've not ever seen any of my NBA lineup advice videos. The only thing you need to do to be a part of the community, get access to the videos, is to become a subscriber to the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please do so down below before you go. And don't forget to also put on your post notifications, a little bell icon, turn that on, so this way you'll be notified right away when I upload a new video. With that being said, today is Tuesday. It's November the 5th. 2019, and we have another 6-gamer in the association. First things first, recap yesterday. I gave you guys a couple plays, discuss a few other plays, and not a bad night at all. My top numbers were 360s, 350s. I had a bunch of 300s, but last night was a high-scoring night. Just for example, the 100K event, the top score was 430 that took first place, and actually 11 individuals were tied for that. So they split all that money at about $14,800 or $14,900 a piece, which is not too shabby. I would take it. I mean, but again, last night it was that high scoring, and if you weren't involved in those high scoring games and you have a few of those players, you definitely lost out. I scored a 360. Any given night, 360 is more than enough to take down a tournament, and unfortunately that did not cut it last night. I did make my money back. I kind of broke even last night, just simply because of the high scores. Thank goodness that I played a couple of little 100 player games. That's the only reason why, but other than that, you know, my top score was 360. So just moving along. All right, the giveaway will be another giveaway going on this week for either the lineups or for the player pool. If you're interested in that, the only thing you have to do is like the video, comment down below anything regarding the slate. You can even ask me questions. I'll be more than happy to help anybody. So if you have a question, you're not sure about 2 or 3 players, or I can look into a couple of stats, look over a few of my charts, and then I can basically respond to you right here in the comment section of the video. Or if you want to hit me up privately, you can. My Twitter and my Instagram socials are in the description of this video. So always remember that I'll be more than happy to help out anybody I can. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically it. So if you want to be involved in the giveaway, I give it out weekly. It will be announced on, I will announce it on next Monday's video. So the only thing you need to do is like the video, comment down below, and be a subscriber to the channel. That's basically it. All right, guys. All right, let's get right into today's slate. 6-game slate. We're going to go to point guard. I'm going to try to be a lot quicker today because, for one, my kids are off. It's, election day. So my kids are public school. They're off today. So, I mean, you know, I got to get things done with them. So I'm going to be as quick as I can today. Probably quicker than norm, but it's probably better for me anyway. So hopefully you guys will not have an issue with a quick 1, 2, 3 video here. So at point guard today, at the top, I do like Malcolm Brogdon. Now, I've given you Malcolm twice. This is the third time, and third time is always, you know, he's been solid all year long. They are obviously, Trae Young is back today, so he is an option, especially now that we heard the news that John Collins is going to be suspended for 25 games for PEDs violation, for the drug violation policy in the NBA. So that's a huge hit. Obviously, that's a huge bump for Trae. He's going to have to do more. He's going to have to actually rebound. As one of those point guards that rebounds, he's going to have to do a little bit more of that. It's going to open up the doors for a couple other guys like Jabari Parker, which I'll discuss a little bit later. So yeah, Trae Young is definitely in play. Kemba Walker, love the spot for him again today with Cleveland at 9,100 is not a bad play as well. But I'm gonna definitely go with Malcolm Brogdon because, for one, Sabonis more than likely is out, and if he is out, he's gonna get at least a 2-3% bump from where he's at right now. Malcolm at 9,000, you need 45. His price tag is high, but the guy has been really holding it down, man. No, you know, as we know, no Oladipo. Obviously, this man has just come in here and stepped it up. He is their point guard. I mean, this is the best point guard that Indiana's had in a very long time that could put up these kind of numbers. And the thing is that he does a little bit of everything. He can rebound, assist, he can block shots, he can defend and get steals. And what I like most about it, and I've discussed this before in videos, is I love guards that do other things, like defend, look to block shots, look to rebound. You know, this has been discussed here before at DFS Zone, and this is the guy. This is like a perfect guy that does a little bit of all of that. As you can see here, the numbers are there. But at that price tag, you need 45 from him. He's averaging 46 on DK. He's 8,200, so you need 41 to me value. I think he's a good play either for cash or GPP. He has the upside. As you can see here, he can get you in the 50s. So soon is going to, you know, the scary thing about Brogdon is he's at a point now where he may be priced out pretty soon. It's going to be really, really tough. He's going to have to elevate his game and put up bigger numbers. So So we'll see how this goes as we move on during the course of the next few games of the season. But the bottom line is right now he's getting more than enough minutes. He's taking more than enough shots. His usage rate is up there. He's at about almost 27%. Yes, I have him at 27%. So, I mean, huge numbers. But again, playing 31 plus minutes, look at that. He has had 5 out of his 6 games. He has put up at least 22 points from the floor or better. And he has had 1, 2, 3, 4 double-doubles. And like I said before, he can get you some blocks, and he's definitely willing to defend and get you some steals. And what I like best is the rebounding. As you can see here, his last game was a little bit of a dud, 34 fantasy points. But as you can see, prior to that, everything was 44, 43, even as high as 57. So I think he could definitely get you 45 here. With no Sabonis, he's going to have a huge bump in usage. He's going to have to take some more shots because Sabonis takes about 12, 13 shots a game. And now that has to be distributed among himself, Jeremy Lamb, as well as TJ Warren. So I expect those 3 guys to definitely elevate their games a little bit more. He's coming in here. He's shooting fairly well, 47% from the floor, 34% from 3, and he's shooting 97% from the foul line. And he gets to the foul line because he's one of those that is willing to attack the basket. Okay, taking 16, 17 shots a game, that's going to probably be a boost up to about maybe 20, and he's taking 4 or 5 threes on a regular basis. So again, no Sabonis. He's going to be at about 30% usage rate from 27. I think he's going to get at least another 3 more. He's going up against San Antonio. Apologize. Charlotte. He's going up against Charlotte, and Charlotte right now at the moment is allowing 23.2 fantasy points per game. Okay, 2 opposing point guards. But again, they have only faced 2 pretty decent point guards. They actually 1 top-tier point guard, and that's De'Aaron Fox at 43.4 fantasy points he put up against them. Bauman put recently from Golden State 34.4 fantasy points per game. As a rookie. So again, that's not too bad. I think Malcolm is in a great spot here. So Malcolm Brogdon in play. We go over the shooting guard. A shooting guard at the top, you got Jimmy B. Obviously someone in play, but he's going up against Denver. It's always scary. Denver is a pretty decent defending team. Miami is a better defending team. So if there is an opportunity for Jimmy B, he can actually really ball out knowing that he's got the better defending team, and he's also one of the top defending players in this league. So I think Jimmy Butler, I will have him in some of my lineups, nothing big. Glorious Alexander is definitely in play. 8,300 is a really big number for him, but he's been putting up huge numbers, and he's one of the top scorers or one of the top offensive weapons for OKC. But I'm going to go down to his teammate, Dennis Schroeder. 6,100. He's going to go under the radar today. The guy is at 6,100. You only need 30 to me value. He's on DK at the same price, so obviously he is priced pretty high on DK. I would not advise to take him on DK, but I do like his price tag on Fanduel. He's averaging, you need 31. He's putting up 15, 6, and 4. Again, he's just like Brogdon. He's one of those guys that can do a little bit of everything, but he plays less minutes and he takes a little bit less shots. But as you can see, the minutes are okay for his price tag, and he's scoring more than enough. 4 straight games, at least 17 points from the floor or better. And as you can see, he can get you rebounds, and he can get you those days where he can actually double up well on those assists. He gets 7 or 6 or more in a game, and he can get you the steals. And all those extra peripherals are what we're looking for, especially, like I said before, I love those guards that can do a little bit extra other than just being a passer or being a shooter. They're willing to go and get dirty down in the trenches, get rebounds, try to get blocks, try to get some steals, and be very aggressive defensively. So Dennis Schroeder is not a bad play here. He's shooting 43% from the floor, and he's only basically shooting 25% from 3. He's been having a horrible time nailing the threes, so he's been struggling from beyond the arc, but still taking 5 to 6 threes a game, which is okay with me, and taking 15 to 16 shots per game, which is really more than enough shots for the time frame for the amount of minutes that he's getting on the floor. And his usage rate is not too bad. He's at 24% usage rate, so he is up there. He is one of the other guys on this team that they look for scoring, other than Alexander and other than Chris Paul. And with no Steven Adams, if he is still out, they need these 3 guards to be the top dogs on this team. So Dennis Schroeder, I do like here. He's going up against Orlando. Orlando is always feisty. They're one of those grind out defensive teams, but they've only been allowing 16.4 fantasy points per game, but they haven't really faced a whole lot of guys in Dennis Schroeder's skill set that shoots threes, can shoot from the floor, from the perimeter, is willing to drive to the paint, is willing to at least defend, is willing to rebound. Those are the things that I look for, and especially when you look up at who they have played. They have faced Garland, Reddish, Ellington, Matthews, and Gary Harris. That is it. So they're going to have their hands full with Alexander and Schroeder today. So Dennis Schroeder, to me, I think is someone that we can consider here today. The only guy that put up a decent fantasy point total on them was Gary Harris, and that was in the very last game, and he put up 25.6. Everyone else averaged 16 or less. So that comes to show you, where they're at as far as defense and who they played against. So they haven't played really some top tier guys, and I think Dennis Schroeder is one of those guys that definitely can get you those 30 or more points. So this is definitely a tough matchup for Evan Fournier. So I do like Schroeder here. And then a small forward, hands down, LeBron James. Now, I can't go with both LeBron and Anthony Davis today because this game, out of the games on the slate, this is a slate today that is defense heavy. I mean, this is the implied totals are very low. That we're not expecting big blowouts here. The games should all be competitive, and they all should be fairly close. The LA game right now, they have about 7.5 point favorites as visitors going into Chicago. But this is a game that can could definitely get away from Chicago here, and especially if AD and LJ put up huge numbers and play very well, they can make this into a little bit of a blowout. I'm not going to predict a blowout, but it can possibly happen. So with that, for me, I'd rather go with whom I think has the better matchup and can get me the most fantasy points, just in case they go into a blowout. And I really believe that it could be LeBron here over Anthony Davis. And so 11,007, at 11.7, you need about 57 from LeBron to meet value here. And I mean, what can I say about LeBron, man? We all know what he can do. I mean, he puts up huge numbers. He's a double-double, triple-double almost every time. He's averaging 25.5, 8, and 11 right now. 54 fantasy points per game. Put up a 57 spot and an 88 spot in the last two games, which has been his biggest numbers to date. And as you can see, look at the huge point numbers. 39 points, 21, 23, 20, 35, playing more than 30 somewhat minutes a game. He's averaging 34 and a half minutes a game. At the moment right now, he's shooting 47% from the floor, only 28% from three. It's not a big three-point shooter, can get hot at times, but we don't need him to do all that stuff. All right, his usage rate is very high. It's as expected, 32% usage rate, and he is taking 17 shots on average a game and about 5 to 6 threes. So he's going to get his shots. He's going to get his usage. He's going to get his minutes. And like I said before, minutes, usage, shots are a good basic way to start looking at players and get a gauge of what you have. But then after that is matchup. Who are they facing, and whom might be defending him? So he's over here. So again, he's got everything that we're looking for. He's going up against Chicago. Chicago has given up 20 fantasy points per game to opposing point guards, and about 30. And marketing has been given up in a power forward spot. It's hard to determine who they're going to put on LeBron, but it does not matter. Whoever they put on LeBron from Chicago, any one of those starting five are not going to be able to contain him. That's what I believe. If they put Satoransky because he's at the point, and we know LeBron is playing the point, I cannot see Satoransky holding him. It will have to be somebody else. So you got Porter, you got Markkanen. Markkanen's been pretty much holding down small forwards and power forwards depending on the matchups. He's got decent skill set, but he's not going to be able to control LeBron. Markkanen's been giving up himself 30.7 fantasy points to opposing power forwards when he's gone up against them. Kevin Love put up 50, Siakam put up 31, and P.J. Washington put up 35. And then when you look at Satoransky, he had a tough go with Malcolm Brogdon, who put up 34 on him, which 48? Yeah, he put up a 48 on him. So again, and Buddy Hield also put up about 35, 34 fantasy points. Other than that, I mean, you're talking about LeBron James here. So I mean, the way he's playing right now, playing the point guard position, I just can't see any one of these guys holding him. So I am in favor of having one of the Lakers, not both, because if it happens to get away from you a little bit, you're gonna find yourself that these guys are more than likely gonna sit. So I'd rather take my chances just with LeBron. And like I've told you before, when you have two superstars on one team, sometimes I always go with one instead of the other, or one or the other. Or if they are in a good competitive matchup where they're gonna be contested, I may just go with both guys if I feel that they're gonna really need to be the top dogs on their team. So in this case, LeBron James is in play. All right, so LeBron James is a go. We go with a power forward. At power forward at the top, just with the news that we got today, I mean, there's a couple guys I do like. I like LaMarcus Aldridge. You can also vouch for Markkanen in that matchup against LA. I mean, he's been having a bummed out year, but he could probably come up big. But I'm going to go to Jabari Parker. I mean, we know that John Collins is out. Jabari Parker is at 4,800 here on FanDuel. So you only need 24 to meet value. He is 5,000 on DK, so you pay $200 more. You could put him on DK. I don't see no reason why not to slot him in. even though he's only $200 more expensive on DK. Usually you look for those DK plays a little bit below the price tag of the FanDuel plays, but Jabari at 4,800, 24 on DK 5. You need 25. I think he could definitely hand it up. This is a guy that can get you 35. There's no doubt about it. I've seen him even put up 40 in the past. He's going to have to put up some big minutes here, and I think with just the added minutes right now, he's averaging about 22, 23 minutes, and I think that's going to have to escalate up to about 28, maybe as much as 30 on a given night. If he's feeling great and he's doing well, they're going to need him. They're going to need him to get some rebounding. And this also opens up the doors with no John Collins for Alex Len. I know he is banged up with the ribs, but Alex Len is going to have to play some really nice minutes for the Atlanta Hawks in some of these games, especially when they're battling teams that are pretty big and pretty strong up front. So no matter what, Jabari Parker should get a minutes upgrade here. He should definitely get an uptick in usage, and he should also start taking more shots to help out his team. Now, granted, Trae Young and everybody else will be doing the same, and this is Trae Young's team. But Jabari Parker up front is going to be needed. So again, not huge numbers, not a lot to go by. He's averaging 14 and 4 rebounds a game and 1 assist, but still at 20 fantasy points and only needing 24. You can see he can get you about 30, and at that price tag, I'm willing to take it, knowing that he's going to get an elevated amount of minutes and shots. He has been, and as far as right now, his shooting right now at the current time is 55% from the floor, 39% from 3, so he's shooting excellent from 3. And that's another thing he brings to the table. He could spread out the floor and shoot the 3. His last 2 games, he has taken, on average, in the last 2 games, these games right here, he has taken 11 shots a game and taking 5 threes. So he's getting 16, 17 shots a game over the course of the last 2, and we're going to need him to elevate that going into today. So he should definitely see more minutes, more time, more shots. He's going up against San Antonio. They have been allowing 32.4 fantasy points per game to opposing power forwards. Anthony Davis did put up 47 in the last game, and Marcus Morris at the beginning, the first game of the season for the New York Knicks, put up 40. So that's just to give you an idea more or less where we at. All right, let's go to center. And at center, at the top, you got Jokic, you got Vucevic, and I tell you, either one of these guys you can. Jokic is not having the greatest year, but he is going up against Miami. Miami's tough all the way across the board defensively. They held people down on fantasy point totals pretty much across the board, 26, 27 fantasy points or less per position. So they're one of the top defensive teams. Vucevic is in a good spot here against OKC, especially but he's another guy. He gets not as many minutes, plays about a little under 30, and usually just sometimes doesn't put up. He will give you 30, he can get 35, and then once in a while he'll give you that 45, 50. If I knew that he was going to, he should smash, but I'm just fearful that he's just not going to get it done. Tristan Thompson is being a little priced up a little bit too much now, so today I'm willing to fade Tristan. I think he's still going to have a solid game here, but nonetheless, 8,400, you need 42, 43. So I'm going to come down and pay down at center today. You could go Dwight Howard, but I'm just focusing on these 2 guys. I think 50% of my lines are going to be these guys here, Myers and Goga. Okay, Myers Leonard, I'm gonna put Myers Leonard here just simply because I know he's been playing more so for the Miami Heat, and he's been doing fairly well, and they're gonna need him to play solid minutes again today. But as you can see, he's averaging 24 plus in his last 3 games as far as minutes are concerned, averaging 8.5 points, 5, almost 6 rebounds and 1 assist, and we'll only need him to score and get those rebounds and hit and get some and defend and get those blocks and steals. As you can see, he can defend. He's got 6 blocks over the last 3 games and 3 steals, and he has put up a 34 and a 38 spot in his last 2 games. Again, at 5,400, you only need 26, 27. If he can get me that, he's 4,500 on DK, so you only need 23 there. I think he's definitely a good cash play, and I think he can definitely smash here tonight, get you 38 to 40, and he'll end up being a reasonable GPP play, especially on DK being at that price tag of 45. All right. He's been shooting very well from the floor, too. He's another big guy that's come in and has really got it going, shooting 63.6% from the floor and 61% from 3. He's been taking, as of late, over the last 2 games that he's had those 34 and 38 fantasy point totals, he's taken, on average, 10 shots, and he's had also taking as many as 3 threes a game, and he's been very, very effective. As you can see, he's shooting at a 63 and a 61% clip. He's going up against Denver, and, hey, again, Denver, one of the tougher defensive teams in the league. They got Jokic, so it's going to be a tough matchup. But, again, Denver is not quite defensively. I just like the way Miami plays. I think Jokic is going to have a tough. And again, totally anything can happen. Like I tell you, nothing's guaranteed. Jokic could go out there tonight and put up a 60 spot on us. It can happen. I just feel that Myers Leonard, I'd rather pay up in the other areas, and Myers Leonard should be able to get us what we need here out of him for cash or for GPP. That's just basically it. But it's going to be a tough goal going up against Jokic. Denver's only allowed 27.8, so pretty much about 28 fantasy points per game. They did give Vucevic 36. Okafor put up 39 on them, and then Whiteside put 40. Those are the top three guys against Jokic. Again, Myers, Leonard, he should be able to get somewhere in that range as well. I really do believe that. And if you're not on Myers, Leonard, I think between the two, Myers and Goga, when you think of Goga, he's in the position where, he's going to have to play. There's no doubt about it. They're going to need him. Indiana with no Domantas Sabonis. It's the bottom line. If there's no Miles Turner and there's no Sabonis, you got nobody else other than this guy to go up there and put 25 to 30 minutes or better. So he's going to have to play some big minutes, and he's pretty talented. I mean, looking at some of his game highlights and watching a few clips over the NBA League Pass on a few games that I've caught from him, he's been able to do a number of things. He can score from the floor. He can score from three. He has a pretty decent mid-range shot, and the guy defends. He gets you some blocks. He can get you some steals. He's been doing it all. So, I mean, Goga, what do they call him? Bataze? I think it's Bataze. Goga Bataze, something like that, whatever the case may be. But Goga, he is someone of an option for you guys as well. And I think that that's the way to go, is to pay down. But these guys will be more of the higher owned centers in today's slate, and I think Goga definitely a lot more, just simply because he's $100 cheaper. But he is also $4,000 on DK, so that's big. On DK, he is $500 cheaper than Myers Leonard, so I would think there he will probably be even more higher owned. That's basically it, man. Short and quick. Sorry about that. We'll get back to a normal routine possibly tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. If you guys like these, just getting to the bottom line and getting to the players, no problem. We'll do that. And then I'll leave for all the in-depth stuff when they start doing live shows. But with that, I wish you guys a lot of luck tonight. Make sure you drop a like on the video. If you want to be in the giveaway, you got to drop a like. You got to comment down below. Again, don't be afraid to ask any questions if you want to. I'll do what I can. I know there's some of you that would do. And then make sure also you subscribe to the channel. Again, best of luck. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.